So it's great to see so many out. I was wondering, just how many we're going to have. And I'm not sure if Jack and Nora are members or not. Are they members?
I'm just practicing the heating song.
Well, we especially welcome you, and we'd be glad to have you as members if you see fit to join. So possibly after tonight's over, you might think about that seriously for New Year's resolution. Now, we'll ask our secretary for the minutes of the last meeting.
The general meeting, November the 2nd, a welcome was extended to the 13 members at the Willoughby Community Center. The meeting was held by President Jim Jones and everyone sang Canada. The minutes from October's meeting were read. Motion by Marjorie Orr to accept the minutes as read was seconded by Alan Willett and carried. The Treasurer's report showed the following balances at the end of October. Current account $247.44. The calendar account $1,502.86. Carried. Several pieces of correspondence were read. Motion by Jackie Glenn that the information requested by the Niagara Falls Bicentennial Committee be answered in reference to our part in the bicentennial and giving the committee our June date for the open house at the museum. Was seconded by Alan Willett. Carried. Also representing the Willoughby Historical Society at the recognition evening will be Margaret and Jim Bruni and Jackie Glenn. The museum report was given by Marjorie Ort, and the membership was informed that Ursula B. Seisler and Emma Chambers were attending a meeting about new standards regarding museums. The logging wheels are now in Elmira for repairs. A thank you went to everyone who helped load the wheels. Also, the museum committee suggested that a rolling discussion be held during a society meeting night in order to take conversation about things that have changed with time. Under old business, the items in Carl Adams' farm have all been removed and nothing is left. Motion by Alan Willett that the issue of these items be dropped, was seconded by Rita Somerville, carried. Also, Jackie asked the volunteers to put the cookbook together when the final meeting was. Under new business, an explanation was given concerning the Christmas meeting in the Niagara Shopping News. Motion by Joan Relic. Society placed the reading, if asked, by the Niagara Shopping News. Was seconded by Mark Hoffman. Carried. The program for December's meeting was discussed and agreed that there will be a tree trimming. Jim Brink to supply the trees. Members to bring old ornaments or make an ornament similar to something that was made years ago. Also, there would be carol singing. Members were asked to bring in old pictures for the next calendar. The program for the evening was the election of the 1984 executive. A happy anniversary wish went to Debbie and Alan Willett. A motion by Jim Brink to adjourn was seconded by Debbie Willett and refreshments were served.
Errors or revisions? Revisions are right. Hearing none. No discussion? All in favor? Next we have the treasurer's report.
The treasurer's report at the end of November.
Short as possible.
Yes, probably. Do a short one.
In the mail to next month, send the mail to this one or next month that. They have to know who to correspond with when they want to talk to our organization.
Well, we
So-
already have the address of the secretary.
Yes.
Well, they have, but I think it's be noted that we want our mail to go to the secretary since we don't have a representative. Because normally it went to Walter Parks, you
I
see.
see, yes, I see.
And so in other words, the secretary's office is our representative as far as mailing is concerned.
Very good, and you'll see that they get letter. Okay, fine, good question. Any other questions arising out of the correspondence? Well, we'll go on to the music report. Which one of the ladies gives us the music report tonight? First.
Here is the report of December 1983. Recording of Willoughby Church and family cemeteries, typing these records and obtaining maps where possible have been ongoing for the year. Contact has been made with the Ontario Geological Society regarding exchange of records and their updating. All this information has been compiled in loose leaf book form for the museum records and for public research. Meetings with the museum from the Niagara region were attended throughout the year, and Willoughby participated with the cooperative advertising in the region Niagara tourist booklet, Niagara Seasons, and the 1983 museum directory passport. Regular meetings have been scheduled for the coming year to be held at different museums for exchange of ideas, information, and assisting one another in bulk purchasing and conservation. This group of museums will also be discussing the new standards and community museum with a view to assisting each other in meeting these high standards. On July the 1st, the Willoughby Museum participated in a Canada Day celebration held in Douglas Park, Black Creek, with a special display of photographs, music, school registers, and other documents that were from the Black Creek area. The museum celebrated its 15th anniversary in September by holding a 3-day open house and serving refreshments to the guests. A special display of 6 framed pen and ink sketches of Black Creek area drawn by Constance Jardine of Black Creek was shown, and they have since been donated to the museum by Mrs. Jardine. The anniversary is also being observed with a presentation of a Willoughby crest spoon to all persons who serve on the first Willoughby Museum Board and subsequent committees to the present. A meeting was held with the Niagara Falls Commission concerning repairs to the building. The outside trim has been newly painted this fall. New display lighting and ceiling fan has been installed. One of the original school light fixtures will be reconnected in the classroom display. This change of lighting is necessary to preserving artifacts and will have a better effect in the display. It is also in keeping with the new standards for community museum as required by the Ministry of Citizenship and Culture when applying for museum grants. In October, committee members attended a workshop held in the St. Catharines Library by the Ministry of Citizenship and Culture to discuss the new standards and how they will affect the Willoughby Museum. On October the 14th, committee members also attended an Ontario Historical Society workshop in Brantford and brought back information on Indian culture. The museum showed slides of the 1967 centennial celebration in Willoughby Township at the September Historical Society meeting. The Willoughby Museum was also invited to participate in the program of the Willoughby Women's Institute. A presentation was made on the history of artifacts that were brought to the museum. Photographs of artifacts in need of professional repair were sent with application and request for the mobile conservation lab to visit the museum in 1984.
Thank you, Ursula. It's certainly a very interesting, comprehensive report. I hope our city officials appreciate the fine efforts that people are making there. Any comments on the report?
I have a question for Ursula. Ursula, last summer when I was at the museum, there was a problem with water in the basement, coming through the basement wall. Remember that? One of those carpets got all wet. Does the Parks Commission know about that, and do they plan to do something about it?
Well, I don't think they're not doing anything about the wall. They were looking at the outside. They had Mr. Cushing and two other engineers at different departments. I think they will look after it.
They have to dig up around the outside?
They'll have to dig up around the outside and repair this large crack in the wall that they saw, and I think they're going to do
Good, because
it. But probably not till spring.
Any other discussion? We have a motion to approve the report.
I'll move that we.
Fred?
Second.
Report better. Awesome. Who seconded it? Everybody in favor? Carried. Folks to warrant?
Yes.
Waste the heat is, we're making the waste.
I am. I don't know, but I'm dressed warm, but better check with some of the others.
Yeah, we'll turn it down a little bit.
Makes a difference when you're closer to the
Yeah,
mic.
that's what I thought. That's a directed mic. You have to.
If you're not comfortable, now let us know. It's not too hard to start the fire or turn it up. I was coming to old business, and there is an item under the October business that we should attend to, I believe, and that is regarding the purchase of that United Empire Wireless book. A letter of request should go to the museum side for this authorization, as was agreed to pay half the cost of what I believe. Would someone make a motion to that effect? That the secretary bill the museum secretary for half the cost of the book. That was agreed in the minutes, but always some technical matter of requesting a.
I send you my letter when we discuss at the next meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that good enough then? You don't need a motion.
Well,
If we just get the bill, whatever it is, we'll just bring it up to our next meeting next week, and I'm sure it'll pass.
I see. Okay. As long as our auditor is satisfied. Okay, then we on with the rest of the old business here. Cookbooks will sell for $2 each. That was agreed by the executive committee when they met, I believe. And at the end of 1983, the 1983 calendars will sell for $2 each. Is that clear? You want to make that retroactive tonight?
I don't know, the only problem is they start changing their rules.
Right, we better get the first of the year. And the 1984 calendars need to be selling faster. And we should get on the bandwagon and help sell these calendars. We've left it pretty well up to the secretary to do the selling of these calendars. Well, she's had the assistance of the museum, I know. But too many of us haven't got in there and tried to assist in selling these. This is what I'm trying to say. And contact people maybe you'd like to give a Christmas present, you know? Send some of your friends one of the calendars for Christmas and buy it. That would be the cheapest present you could get, and the best one too. So we'd like to see them going a bit faster than what they are. Now is the time to push them in the new year. And Jackie's asking for pictures and information for the next calendar. And to get in touch with Jackie, excuse me, around regarding the information on the 1985 calendar. Any comments? Has anyone else got any old business to discuss?
I don't know whether this is old business or not, but there's been a new committee for the museum, and the names should be sent into Niagara Falls Board of Museums, that they know who the new elected committee is for the Willoughby Historical Museum.
To the Niagara Falls
Board of Museums, yes.
Take care of that. Very good. Anything else? Well, our next item of business is new business, and we run into a little new business here in our executive meeting, and going to give over here a chance to make a motion here in this, and I'll read it to you what this motion was. Motion by myself that a proposed spending of up to $75 for gifts for members for whom the president and the vice president feel have made special contributions to the society by their services was seconded by Alan Willoughby. And these gifts to be purchased by the president and the vice president. And I might tell you the gifts have been purchased, and all we need now is a motion to approve the money.
For who is this now?
Well,
Excuse me, I'm on the executive. I didn't get invited to the executive meeting.
you did.
No, I never heard anything about it.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't know what you're talking about, gifts, or who they're for, or anything.
Well, let's put it this way, that proposal for spending up to $75 for gifts for members for whom the president and the vice president feel have made special contributions to the society by their services, and this was seconded, I made the motion, was seconded by Alan Willoughby. And these gifts are to be purchased by myself and the vice president.
Is it time for discussion on that?
Yes?
I'm really worried about something like this, that somebody's going to get missed. Because there's a lot of people that have done a lot for this organization in the years. They might not have been in the capacity of an executive, but they've been very faithful members and have done things. Now they're going to, that have carried the thing actually. And some of them have been, I don't know who's all included, maybe they're all included, but I mean, I know a lot that have done an awful lot in this organization, both executive and non-executive, that have done a lot. And I'm just hoping that we're not going to miss any, because that's one thing when you start giving out gifts, there's wide open for criticism and hard feelings.
Well, you're certainly going to miss them, because I really don't know who all has been in the organization.
Well, this is what worries me. Once you start doing it.
We propose starting now to acknowledge the people who are doing the work at the present time. This is their purpose. Next year, if the executive decide not to, or if they decide again, it doesn't necessarily need to be a president, but we feel that there are people who have done a service regularly and deserve some recognition. And of course, our budget or our bank account allows us to make some contribution there, and $75 is the amount that they're requesting. Any other thoughts on the matter?
That
Questions?
is for all the gifts.
That's right. That's right. Yes, Dave.
Well, I just think it was a nice friendly gesture, and that, everyone should be quite pleased that they thought that they would do that. That's the way I look at it.
Excuse me, I have nothing wrong with giving them. But the only thing is, I find it very difficult to vote on something when I don't know who's getting it or how much, or whether the right ones are getting it. Like, I might be voting on something that I think the ones that are getting it shouldn't be, or then again, I might agree, but since I don't know who they are, I have no idea who's getting it, so I'm expected to vote on gratuities for people I don't even know who's going to get it. And maybe I think there's some that should get it, so I find it very difficult to vote on that, but that's my opinion only.
Well, we can tell you who the people are that we have thought that should receive something more than just a hand clap. And those people are very good friend, Sway, our pianist, and one, and Rita Somerville, and Clara Rook, number 2 and 3, and our secretary, number 4. Now we feel that they're the people who are presently, or have presently, we recognize that Clara has served a long time on the lunch committee, so you might say we're going back there and a little compensation there, right? And Rita as well, because Rita has said not that she doesn't intend to carry on. So we still have the pianist with us and our secretary, and these are the 4 people.
I don't disagree with any of those, really, but of course there's a couple that I don't know if they've done. There's like, I'm thinking, I don't like to just bring the names up at the meeting either, but I'm thinking like past secretary who served for many, many years.
Well, I personally, as new president this year,
Yeah, I
can
know.
go back and suggest that we're going to pay or present people who, from the beginning of this organization, I think we tried to compensate for this to a point at our 15th anniversary supper. At least I tried hard to acknowledge the people who had started the organization and who had contributed, and also I think some of the other people there did as well. So I felt that was the best we could do for those people.
I think there's something to be said too, that the fact that we felt it necessary to recognize particular individuals with a gift doesn't mean that we exclude other individuals in the future from receiving such similar gifts. Just at this time, we felt it was important that those people be recognized. Like Jim said, with more than just a hand clap, sometimes it's just not enough. For all those individuals, it's far more than that. The dedication is exemplary, far more than you would expect in a volunteer organization such as this one. Even in a job, you would expect that kind of dedication, and I think it's deserving of a reward of some sort.
Any further discussion? We better have a motion on it, and then we'll discuss it from there. I guess would be the proper way to do it. Someone make a motion authorizing the president and vice president to spend up to 75 hours, up to 75 hours for this purpose.
Well, I know we do that, that will admit that this is work. Rita worked so violently in there, getting refreshments for us every night. And, this reminded me of something that happened at the Trinity Church, in view of what Janet read said. My wife, having sang in the choir for 40 years up there, and I was then on the board, and I announced that night that she would no longer be singing, and the minister immediately said, well, we should send her a letter of thanks for all that service. Oh, no, this one said, no, there was so people who had been out for years. And the minister said, we cannot be held responsible for lack of foresight or for shortcomings on previous executives, but would like to do something starting with none. I said, well, in view of what I just heard, I withdraw my seconding on the motion. That's it. And the thing went down dead. For the same thing that you can't go back in the past and secretary who is maybe dead, you can't do anything for him. You got to have a starting point somewhere. And I knew that we do that.
Thanks, Walter. Is there a seconder? Second, I think. Any further discussion?
I would just like to say that I didn't know anything about the fourth gift. I only knew about Clara, Rita's, and Hilda's. You guys.
Should we talk about it? So.
No, that was pretty sneaky.
The work, I'll just add to this before we take a vote on it. The work is not getting any lighter. There's more correspondence than there was originally, and there's more responsibility on the part of the secretary. And certainly, we wouldn't want to do, I don't think, without our lunch committee and without our music. So, you know, we want to say thank you. We want to say thank you with a little something tangible. And you can go home with a pen clap in your ears, then still that doesn't, put anything in your mouth. Or so, any further discussion on that? Hearing none, ask for the motion. We got a mover and a seconder. Everyone in favor? Against? Declare the motion carried. There was one other item that was discussed, one other item that was regarding storage space, filing cabinet should be purchased for the secretary, rather than have the secretary find her own method of filing boxes or whatever, and this can be laid over until the first of the year, but I just tell you now that we discussed this, and we'll bring it up at the next meeting. Is there any other new business? That was new business. That took a long time. Anybody else got new business? Hearing none, we'll go on to the announcements, and we have a very good announcement here starting out in January. Our guest speaker will be Lynn Vaughn. We welcome that, and hope to crowd the hall here. So at this point, I think we'll end our business meeting and ask for an adjournment of the business meeting and carry on with our entertainment for the evening.
Mr. Chairman, before you adjourn to that, I have an announcement that might be of interest to some people here. At the present time, the Trinity Church in Chippewa, with the cooperation from the Legion, are working on putting a marker in the Trinity churchyard for the soldiers from the Battle of Chippewa, who, although they were killed on an Iron Boulevard near Usher's Creek, were then buried in a man's property over on the other side of the creek behind the church. History says that the older people can still remember some of the little wooden markers that were put there. Other than that, there's nothing to show where they were, and we know pretty well where they were because some graves going back to 1840 certainly wouldn't have been buried in that area. And then there's a road along to around the other way, so that pretty well confines it. Now, if this is able to go through, they can fund it all right. It will be perhaps an 8-foot high fieldstone cairn with a plaque on it. Incidentally, the plan calls for a group of like 4 cannonballs on each corner. I know where there's one 12-pound cannonball from that battle that's available, if any of the people up around here at the farms have dug them up, we would be pleased to get a hold of them. Real cannonballs from the battle, if they are available and it goes through. At present time, which it probably will go through. It's just a question of funding. This would be very nice to have a marker there for each one that were killed all that time ago. And unfortunately, too, the area where they were buried, past authorities agreed to filling of that land with perhaps 2 feet of clay over top of it, which you can see quite easily if you go back at the cemetery. You can see over the fence. It's quite low on the other side. Probably belonged to all the securities, maybe the park now. But it's kind of hard to guarantee where they were, but this is what's being worked on at the present time. I thought you'd like to know that the fellow were killed actually in Willoughby area, but very on the other side.
Sounds very worthy, possibly quite an expensive expense, I would imagine.
$6,000 altogether.
Well, certainly glad to be informed about, well, if there's anyone else with any thoughts on it or comments on it. Well, hearing none, we have still our birthdays to come up in our program for the evening, which will be decorating the Christmas tree. Everyone was supposed to bring some old decorations they had many years ago to decorate the tree, and then following that, we'll have refreshments. And first of all, after we have the motion for adjournment, we will, Alan has a Christmas cake.
Two of them, as a matter of fact.
Two of them, very good. So we'll have that. Will someone make the motion to adjourn now, just so I don't forget it later on? Yes, Ursula, motion. Seconded by? Second. Is there any? Ada seconded. Yeah. Good. Anyone against approving that motion? All in favor? Yes. Thank you. Well, Alan, did you now take over and what did I miss? Lots of things.
Okay, you'll have to move, I guess.
Yeah.
Sing it again.
You see, if these people would let us know, they might get a card too. But I think you're the only one got a card, Miss Miller.
Oh.
Yes. And many more happy birthdays.
Can they sing a carol?
I think we should. But are we going to decorate the tree first and then sing the carols? Just stay right there. There will be a long decorating the
We
tree.
can do it at the same time, even, perhaps.
Okay. Now, the idea of decorating the tree was everyone can bring an old decoration, and if they'd like to expound on it, tell them, how big they were when they first had this decoration or whatever, well, I was glad to hear from them. But, who all brought decorations? There's some on there. Margaret dug up a couple old ones here. I don't know if you want to give you any history on it or not. I think I had that one when I was a little boy. Tell Miss Miller. Miss Miller, this is our old decoration. I think I had that when I lived down the river. Yeah. I'm not sure, but I think so. And this is another one Margaret dug up here. Oh, here's some tags or something. Look at this. So bring up your decorations. We'll decorate the tree, and then we'll have a sing-song.
Maybe you get more people.
How's our time rolling around? My goodness, we're getting late then. Oh, we don't want to sing it too fast. Are those seats, white jersey? Tails run, Bob, tails run. fellas, hey, and girls. Saying no. Now the other Oh, this is the song sheets they got. Art Carol sing. Angels sing glory to our King. Mercy, mild, way in a manger. Any other requests now? Hey, we'll go by requests here. Who wants what? Just ask what they want. I'm trying to go by the sheet here so we have the words, you know. We Three Kings. Is that on this sheet? Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Number 20, We Three Kings.
No, get a string about it. Alice, you want to be popcorn? Pretty sure.
Hurry, Laura, eat it.
Can you give us a tune on that, somebody? We Three Kings, I can't do. Come up here. Come on, Fred. I can't. Silent night. Holy night. All is calm, all is bright. Round your virgin mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild. Sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly night. Holy night. Shepherds lay at the side. Glory from heavenly hosts sing down. Christ the Savior is born. Christ the Savior is
You better watch out, you better not shout.
yeah. So, you better not lie, you better not lie.
haven't got that on now. So it's like drinking
I should think so. But they don't strap it or anything anymore. They don't strap you anymore. No. Yeah. I just, you wouldn't be sore for a while, but but are they feeling better altogether now or not? Oh my goodness. Are you come here? Are you everybody? So you see the result of the
Well, this is
Last year, it was last year you told us about
I shouldn't have left it. It would have been easier.
No, I'm glad you left it.
You're gonna get
I pushed the wrong button. I had to record all of this. Oh, good.
Oh, did you?
I don't know what to say. Good.
You weren't.
You disappoint me.
Are you finished over there now, Candace?
I would just like to say something. I got a real surprise here. I thought I was just getting a few little calories here. And aside from being very nervous right now, which I'm usually not when I try and speak, is at a special rate, my gift is going to be the 2-volume of Loyal She Remains. And I would really, really like to thank everybody. And for some reason, I waited putting off my order until after the Christmas rush. And I'm kind of glad I did now. Thank you very much.
If anybody wants to see Rita and Clara's, they're up here too, okay? So have a look at them. I'm just gonna put them here. And then I'll take them.
Is this tied? This one tied off here?
No.
And here's a card for Ted Lees. You have your attention, please. Ted Lees, as you know, is our past president, and Ted Whitfield's done a great job in bringing folks here that didn't have a ride and so on. So we're saying to Ted, thank you. Your attendance at our meetings and making it possible for many of our folks who don't have transportation to attend our meetings is much appreciated. And Ted isn't here, unfortunately, so I guess we'll mail it to him.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
What comes after that?
We're going to make a sign.
Oh, wait, we better do that now while we're thinking.
We hope you'll like it.
Time is up.
The decorations there. That's what I say, it doesn't look so big. When you bring it indoors, it looks a lot bigger.
Jim has got all the,